Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that might sting a little. Why do women suddenly start chasing the same man they once ignored, rejected, or emotionally abandoned? Why does she lose interest, only to come back when you finally stop caring? It's not random, it's psychological. And once you understand this, you'll never chase validation again. Before we dive deep, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because what I'm about to share will shift the way you see attraction forever. Now listen carefully. A woman's attraction doesn't fade because she stops liking who you are. It fades because of how you start showing up. In the beginning, she's drawn to your mystery, the quiet confidence that says, "I'm not here to prove anything." You were centered, grounded, and unpredictable in a way that kept her emotionally alert. But over time, men lose that edge. You start explaining yourself, over-texting, checking if she's okay, trying to fix her moods. And that's when the switch flips. She subconsciously thinks, "He's safe now, but I don't feel the spark anymore." It's not cruelty, it's biology. Her emotional system is wired to crave polarity, the tension between desire and safety. When you overinvest emotionally, she feels like she's leading the connection. And no woman wants to feel like the leader in attraction, so she pulls away, not because she's cold, but because her instincts whisper, "He's not the same man who made me feel alive." But here's where it gets fascinating. The same woman who loses interest can become obsessed again with the very same man she once dismissed. Why? Because the man changes his emotional frequency. When you detach, when you stop orbiting her energy and start focusing on your own, she senses it. She feels the distance, and in that distance, attraction reawakens. She remembers the man who was emotionally unavailable, slightly unpredictable, the man she had to earn. It's not about pretending, it's about returning to emotional independence. The less you seek reassurance from her, the more she feels drawn to yours. Attraction isn't about looks or money. It's about psychological power. And once she senses you've reclaimed it, she starts chasing what she lost. Because now, you're the mystery again. Here's the brutal truth most men never hear. Women don't fall out of love because of you. They fall out of love because of your energy. When a man becomes needy, overly available, or emotionally predictable, the thrill disappears. She doesn't consciously decide to stop caring. Her instincts simply dim the attraction signals in her brain. And the moment she senses she can have you anytime, she stops seeing you as a challenge, a spark, a force she can't resist. This is where men make their biggest mistake, trying to convince her to stay interested. Texts, calls, gifts, even apologies, they don't make her love you. In fact, they do the opposite. Because desire isn't negotiated. It's earned through your presence, your value, your unpredictability. Women are wired to chase what is slightly out of reach, to be intrigued by a man who commands his own world. When you surrender your emotional power, you become ordinary in her mind. But here's the psychological flip most men miss. When you step back, stop seeking validation, and live your life fully, something incredible happens. She starts remembering all the moments she felt alive with you, the tension, the excitement, the spark she thought was gone. That memory triggers desire, and suddenly she's not just interested. She's pulled back into the emotional gravity you once had. And it's important to understand, this isn't manipulation. It's simply creating space for attraction to resurface naturally. Women are highly intuitive. They feel when a man values himself more than he values their approval. That shift in energy creates tension, the same tension that initially drew her to you. She begins to chase what she previously abandoned, not because she's fickle, but because your value has changed in her perception. This is why men often say, "She left me, and now she's back, but I don't feel the same." That's exactly what you're supposed to feel. Desire works on imbalance. When she senses you're no longer emotionally available at her convenience, her mind and body start recalibrating. She starts seeing you as the man she couldn't have, and suddenly her attraction is reignited, hotter, sharper, more urgent than before. If you've ever wondered why women play this push-pull game, this is the science behind it. She doesn't consciously plan it, but her biology is programmed to react to the very dynamics that men often ignore. And once you understand this, you stop begging and start magnetically drawing her back on your terms. Now let's go even deeper because most men never understand why this works so powerfully. Attraction is a psychological game, and the rules are hidden in plain sight. Women are not thinking logically when it comes to desire. They are reacting to signals, energy, and emotional tension. Every time you pull back, every time you stop proving your worth, every time you stop chasing her attention, you send one undeniable message: I am complete without you. That message triggers her primal attraction circuits in a way that words, gifts, or apologies never could. Think about it. When she first met you, there was uncertainty. She didn't know what to expect from you. She felt alive, curious, slightly anxious. And that's exactly what creates desire. Desire isn't a list of traits on paper. It's an emotional reaction to unpredictable, confident energy. And here's where men fail. They settle into predictability. They become a known quantity. And once she knows all the pieces, the thrill fades. She loses interest. But when you reclaim your independence, when you stop orbiting her world, the dynamic flips. She sees a man who is unavailable to her whims, who lives his life fully without her permission or approval. And suddenly, her brain starts lighting up with the same signals she had when she first fell for you. It's dopamine, desire, and curiosity all firing at once, and she can't ignore it. Here's the crucial insight. Attraction is not about you convincing her. It's about creating emotional imbalance in the right way. Distance, independence, and unshakable self-value are your tools. You don't need to be mean or manipulative. You just need to be fully yourself without caring about her approval. That energy is magnetic. That energy pulls her back. That energy makes her question her previous decision to leave. And when she returns, it won't be because she's realized your worth logically. It will be instinctual, raw, and urgent. Her mind will be flooded with memories of the thrill, the tension, the excitement, emotions she thought she'd lost. And this time, because you no longer chase, she is the one investing in the connection. She is the one proving herself to you, not the other way around. This is the hidden psychology of desire. Women are drawn to what they cannot fully control, to what challenges them emotionally, to what sparks their curiosity and admiration. And when you stop giving her control over your emotional world, you reclaim the very power that made her want you in the first place. Here's a truth most men find hard to swallow. Women don't lose interest in you because of who you are. They lose interest in how you show up. When you become predictable, emotionally available on demand, or desperate for approval, she stops feeling that spark that once drew her in. And once that spark fades, it doesn't matter how kind, loyal, or generous you are. She's no longer invested. Desire isn't earned through behavior, it's felt through energy. But here's where the story flips. The same woman who walked away can be drawn back when you shift your energy. When you stop orbiting her emotions, stop texting first, stop over-explaining, she starts sensing that you are no longer at her disposal. That energy shift creates tension. And in attraction, tension is magnetic. It's what makes her remember the excitement she once felt. The uncertainty, the challenge, the thrill. Suddenly, she feels compelled to re-engage, to test whether she can still pull you in. And this isn't about manipulation, it's about clarity. You're not pretending to be unavailable. You're simply reclaiming your emotional independence. You're prioritizing your life, your goals, your growth. That energy broadcasts confidence, value, and self-respect, the exact things that ignite desire in her subconscious mind. Women are wired to pursue what they can't easily obtain. When you stop giving her easy access, she can't help but feel the pull. Now understand this. When she returns, she's not just nostalgic. She's reacting to the man you've become in your absence. You're no longer the man who bends over backward for attention or validation. You're the man who stands firm, who values himself, who radiates calm confidence. And this shift activates a deep psychological trigger. She suddenly wants what she left behind, not because she was wrong, but because your presence now reflects the very traits that initially made her desire you. The most powerful moment is when she realizes she lost a man who doesn't chase, who doesn't need her approval, and who values himself above all. That realization makes her chase, but not just casually. She seeks validation, connection, and emotional engagement from the one person she once dismissed. And this is where you hold the ultimate power. You decide whether you let her back in on your terms. Attraction isn't about proving anything, it's about holding space, creating tension, and allowing her psychology to do the work for you. When you master this, you understand the dangerous truth. Women are drawn to the man they can't own, not the one they can predict. And that is how desire resurrects itself, stronger than ever. Here's where most men completely miss the game. It's not just about stepping back, it's about evolving while she's gone. Women are subconsciously attracted to growth, power, and emotional independence. If you remain stagnant, the pull she feels will be temporary. But when you expand your life, develop yourself, and cultivate experiences that enrich your identity, she senses it immediately. That energy is magnetic. She sees a man who isn't waiting for her attention, who doesn't hinge his happiness on her presence, and suddenly, the very man she abandoned becomes irresistible. Think about it like this. Desire thrives on polarity. She is drawn to strength, challenge, and unpredictability, qualities she once experienced in you and now sees amplified. When she notices that you've reclaimed your focus, that your world doesn't revolve around her, she experiences a psychological jolt. It's subtle but powerful. Curiosity spikes, desire ignites, and suddenly she's remembering why she felt alive with you in the first place. That's the secret most men never understand. Attraction is never earned by pleading. It's earned by being the man who could exist without her. This is also why timing is everything. The longer you focus on your growth, your life, and your value, the more irresistible you become. She will notice from a distance, and the pull becomes almost uncontrollable. But here's the twist. When she does return, she doesn't come for closure or to apologize. She comes for the spark, the energy, the tension that she once discarded. And now, the dynamic has flipped. She is the one chasing, investing, and trying to regain your attention. And this is where emotional mastery comes in. You don't just accept her back blindly. You observe, you set boundaries, and you maintain your independence. Because if you fall back into old patterns, needy texts, over-explaining, seeking validation, she will lose attraction again. Desire is fragile, and it thrives on challenge. You must remain the man who commands respect and radiates self-sufficiency even when she's close. So here's the ultimate insight. The woman who lost interest will always be drawn to the man who holds himself as a prize, who cultivates his life and his energy without relying on her approval. She doesn't just want the man she left, she wants the man he's become. And once you understand this, you're no longer chasing, begging, or proving. You're magnetically drawing her in while standing firmly in your own power. Now let's make this real, because understanding it isn't enough. You need to embody it. The woman who once lost interest isn't coming back because of your words, your apologies, or even your charm. She comes back because you became a man whose life is full, whose value is undeniable, and whose presence commands attention without asking for it. That energy, the quiet confidence, the independence, the unpredictability, is what makes her remember the spark she thought was gone. Think about every interaction you had with her before she lost interest. She was drawn to the tension between desire and safety, the thrill of not knowing exactly where you stood. When you overcompensated, explained too much, or tried to control her perception, that thrill vanished. Desire died, not because you were unworthy, but because the energy that originally created it disappeared. And here's the truth: most men refuse to face. Desire isn't fair, it isn't logical, and it isn't negotiable. It's primal, subconscious, and utterly ruthless. But when you reclaim your life, your priorities, and your emotional independence, that same woman starts feeling the old tension again. Memories resurface, the way she laughed at your jokes, the way her heart raced when you walked into a room, the excitement of earning your attention. Her brain remembers what it felt like to be uncertain, to wonder if she could pull you in. That spark she dismissed. It flares back up, often stronger than before. And here's the golden rule. She will only chase you if she senses your power, your independence, and your refusal to be emotionally owned. This is the hidden psychology of attraction. Women chase the man who is unattainable, not because he's cruel, but because he's whole. She's drawn to the tension you create simply by being yourself, fully, unapologetically, and without needing her validation. When you internalize this, you stop begging, pleading, and compromising your worth. You stop orbiting her world. You become the man who doesn't chase, yet is irresistible. So remember this, and remember it clearly. The woman who left is not gone forever. She can be pulled back, not through manipulation, not through desperation, but through your unwavering self-respect, your growth, and your magnetic energy. The moment you truly stand in your power, the attraction she lost is awakened. She chases, she desires, she remembers. And you finally control the narrative, because the man she once dismissed has become the man she cannot resist.